All right. Time to do this. 8:01. Tonight was another one of those nights where I was like, all right, I'm going to get in an hour early. Maybe I'll stream the same amount of time, get done early, whatever. Nope. Nope. it it's funny because there's always these little things of little things like, oh crap, let me try to get this done or written up or answered or whatever before I start streaming. And next thing you know, an hour's gone. So that's what's happened tonight. All right, let's get into the game. We'll probably just playtest tonight. Hey, Tone Deaf. Going good? Where's Blade? Hello? What's up, John? I haven't had a chance to figure out what we're gonna stream today. So I guess in the meantime, I will just mess with a new tune, and then once I see if people are gonna be playing and stuff like that, then I can switch. What's up, Saranthulon, Drew ATX, Defiant Possum, Dargus, Saranth. Chili Sauce, Nicodemus, what's going on? You saw the tune named Taters. Should have a male-female goblin duo named Taters and Precious. Hey, Callum, Feldane, Thadvik. I don't think I've looked at the female in a while. There's a seam right there, but it made me think, what if she had a little belly chain? Was that too early 2000s? Her shoulders seem a bit back. Swoopsy, hello. What's up, Rediker? Hey, Lich, Mondus. What's up, Justin Beard? Face is pretty. Yeah. I like it. And overall, like her overall size and stuff came together nicely. I think there might be a rigging or animation thing going on up here. I'm not quite sure what the status is with like the posture, but 2000s are back. Just saw kids in Jinko jeans, unironically. Awesome. Yeah, there's I'm going to a metal festival this summer, and there's a bit of new metal there. Yeah, I'm unsure because I thought the male had some adjustments as well, or at least they were mentioned. I don't know. It's Teak Day. Nothing I'd rather do than watch your stream. Can't wait for Eminem. Right on. What's up, pirate? Excuse me. Dargus said, I like the way the wood elves are turning out as compared to the original concept. Seems like a good compromise on more traditionally elvish, but still hitting some of the concept ideas. Yeah, I'm waiting to see what we do with the deep gnomes. I think they're awesome. I'm excited about them. But they are, I think the deep gnomes are probably the wildest one that we're doing. You could say deep dwarves, but nah, I think deep gnomes are the craziest. So I'm excited to see how they end up. Someone's a little thirsty on stream already. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't like to get up and go get one in the middle of the stream. So I always just start the stream with it. You won't play a deep dwarf, but you love the idea of them. Wait until you understand more about what they're all about. They're pretty intense. A piece of energy said, woo, getting to catch one of your streams. Well, I'm glad you're here. Rediker said, I'm a basic bitch. I play humans, half-elves, and lizards. I think the stats are behind you. Most people play humans. Is this a troll? No, he's just a... He's a bit green. An ogre, dude. You do be ugly. People don't think that ogres be what they be, but they do. Dude, there's something this... Alright, so... Kind of real talk moment right here. Because I'm thinking about him. My dad had this little dog for years now. And she just passed away, so I'm super bummed for him, but there's only so much, like, you know, he mentioned it yesterday. I was like, you know what, I'm not going to call him for a couple days, because I remember when my dog Ziggy passed away, like, I just didn't want to hear from anybody, to be honest with you. I just want to, like, get it out. So anyway, the reason why I mentioned that is whenever I'm looking at one of these dwarves and we get the eyebrow color working properly. All right, like white eyebrows, we get the beard right. Beard number 1. And then we get the eye color right. Like right about like this. This dude, this face reminds me of my dad so much. My dad's got some serious, he's got a giant white beard and just, he's got the most serious face, man, when you look at him. So, anytime I'm rolling a dwarf, if you see any of my dwarves and they look kind of like this, it's because it makes me think of my dad. Rediker said, when Chloe passed last month, I would have traded anyone in my life to get her back. Comfort is appreciated, but ultimately nothing can be said to comfort you. And that's the thing. I get it. Yeah, and I saw that in the pet section. And it's a bummer, man. Like, I feel for you. Jasmine and I still can't talk about Ziggy, like, very much without getting upset. So, man, pets, dude. Pets. Monda said, saying when I lost my pup in January, I don't think I'll ever be able to get over it. And I don't, from speaking just personally, I'm not speaking for any of you. I don't think I'll ever get over it. But that's a good thing. Because that means that I'm still attached to my dude. Yeah. What's up, Fall 20? Your cat 17, dreading that day when it comes. It's rough. It's rough. But it definitely makes me purposely more attentive to our new pup. And I definitely am like, all right. I try to think of all the things that I feel guilty about, like, oh, you know, Ziggy was with me from my second divorce through my fourth marriage. So that dude has seen some shit. So I look back on him like, you know what? That's probably pretty chaotic for the little guy. So I'm glad I'm simmered down a little bit. I'm glad I'm able to not be dragging the little rune around to various bars and shit like that. So yeah. Valorine78, thank you for the follow. Rediker said, oh, just typing her name and thinking about her is me tearing up. Dude, I feel you. Not something you get over, it's just something you live with. Getting over it would lessen what they meant to us. Her urn and a digital frame of her pictures live by my nightside now. In Germany, you're not allowed to take the ashes, even for people. So we've got like this nice glass like container, you know, little wooden top container, glass container, with all of the hair that we could find of his, like during that period, which wasn't hard because Alaskan Kleek eyes are just like huskies. So it's got a nice thing of hair. So his fur lives on with his collar. Piece of Energy says, I'm making sure to spend more time with my 2 remaining dogs because I feel strongly that I failed to spend as much time as I could with my Annie girl. Yep. That's, you know, it's a good reminder for people as well, right? I missed your comment above. Feel that I lost my corgi in March. She was almost 13 years old. Yeah, that was the thing that got me. Ziggy was only 9. He got super gnarly cancer. It was really fast. But reflecting back, I guess it probably went on for a couple months and we just didn't recognize it. Beldane says, I still miss my golden retriever Cody, 2017. Yeah. We need like a pet cemetery zone. That's wild. Even with humans, you don't get the remains. Yeah, even with humans. No thanks. You've seen that movie? Yeah, fair. Nicodemus said, also just lost my dad. To all y'all, call your folks if they're still living. Everyone is always so busy nowadays. Take a moment to keep in touch with them. Absolutely. Hey, Morak. What's up, Swanee? Beldane said, I had the most vivid dreams for weeks after my doggo passed. It was so wild and comforting. All right. Rediker says, I was in constant contact with both my parents while Chloe was sick, and after she died, they were both great source of comfort. Really appreciate it in them. Yeah, it's tough, man. Living in Europe. Been able to get over there a little bit, but my parents, neither one of them really big like phone folks, so we'll call every once in a while. Voice messages on They are literally the only reason why I still have a Facebook account. Voice messages on Messenger are about the best that we do. Be More Gaming says, I lost my King Corso on Saturday. It was the best boy. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that. 3-month battle with cancer, so we're expecting it. Hey Aramis, sorry I missed you. So it says, at Water from Dust Waves from Falorine 78, and then Morak responds, which one of you is you? Are one of you you? Oh, there you are. So you're actually you. So neither one. All right. How big are trolls going to be in comparison to ogres? Defense at. Let's look at the concept. Use me. Art update. This is what we're looking at the moment. I feel like I read the plans for early access somewhere. Mind reminding me. Early access or the playtest? So the trolls are pretty wide, with some lanky ass arms and spindle leg. The troll female, different body type, taller, punchier. Troll male, not quite as tall. So the ogre is the big one of the bunch. Troll society dominated by females? No. The Cyberpunk Viking just followed. Thank you for that. Right. What do I want to make? Got a gnat in here now. Monk. Why a monk? What are the classes? Archer, Bard, Beastmaster, Cleric, Druid, Elementalist, Enchanter, Fighter, Inquisitor, Monk, Necromancer, Paladin, Ranger, Rogue, Shadow Knight, Shaman, Spellblade, Wizard. I feel like, I mean, there's a bunch of stuff I want to try out. I feel like I keep gravitating towards a few of the same classes. Maybe a shaman, I guess. ShamWow would be a great name. Are surnames in? I believe surnames are in. I've seen surnames. I think I've added and removed surnames. But I don't know if there's a player-facing mechanism to pick yet. There may be. I'm used to, I think, just doing it with GM commands. Level prestige locked? Or will they be from level 1? They will be locked. Level locked. Digging the UI? Right on. Glad you like it. Thanks, Target. Oh, man. We'll have to get we'll eventually have to get some, like, little buttons or something for that. I'm just checking Slack real quick. Oh. No, Nick. No. I don't know that I... Oh, no. I don't know that I should be playing... I don't know that I should be playing a paladin. I mean, you're a paladin. Shaman. Thought we were playtesting. We are playtesting. I was just making a character. What do we want to playtest? I don't want to... I'm not going to play this character very well at all. What, It'll be funnier. What can go wrong? All right. Are you giving me a fully scribed spellbook right now? I think that's the first time we've done this. Let me close this damn book. That's tight. So we have just added a new spellbook. Oh, that's so nice. That's super cool. I think that I think that's the first time. I think that's the first time I've done that. I mean, not that I did anything. Like, take the book. All right, so we'll put one book in the bank. There's a note in the bank. Not that I'll ever use it. Aramis, Beldane, Dargith all commenting on the icons. Alright, so what do I need to load up? I don't know any of these spells. Susceptibility, makes your target, alright. Minor stamina. Where's the banker money hat? Oh, he's not in yet. Step 1, spam nuke. Step 2, make Nick do the rest. Step 3, something. Step 4, profit. It's probably going to go like that, yeah. Minor heal. I'm hearing, okay. Looks like Disgusting is joining the party. Malady. Exhaustion. Should have lesser heal, not minor. We've got minor heal on this page. Healing spores over here, lesser heal here. Okay. Okay. It loaded them wrong, so I just grabbed whatever was highest in the stack. Cool. Good catch. Do all classes use spellbooks for abilities, which can be dropped on death, or are spellbooks for spells only, and physical DPS abilities are separate? Currently they all show up on different tabs in this book. Right? But it's only spells that wind up staying in the book. Probably be playing with that UX a little bit. New EQ TLPs launch today in about 35 minutes. Oh, right on. I forgot it was even that month. Cloth armor. Cool, and then spells are dropped on death with the book. Correct. Zero, I do not know. Hey, Twin Cannon. Seems like it's raining a lot in Night Harbor lately. Wonder if it'd drive Robert and the programming folks insane if we made it so that whenever it's raining, the fire sounds replaced with a fire slash sound. The little bit of rain inside here is make me look forward to various drips and stuff in the deep zones. That was you. You can't stand the sun in the desert environment. You've been druiding it. Justin Beard snuck in and made the weather change. Yeah, so behind the scenes we're doing a lot to try to get things ready for the stress test. So we'll lock down a build this week for the stress test. And then we'll then after that we'll be working towards the playtest. Would it be hard to make the weather affect the terrain? Example, when it rains in the desert, it gets muddy and when you run slower. As a hypothetical. I don't necessarily know that it's hard. It would be a thing then that we would I can hear Ollie already. Everything is doable. The question is how much would we enjoy that, right? Like, is it everywhere? And in this case, I mean, I don't know that the desert would get muddy. Maybe the salt flats would get weird, but the desert's sand. And then applying an effect. So I think for the most part to date, we've been applying that type of effect via volumes. In that case, I think we would have to get to the point where we're applying effects to the character based off of the terrain that they're on. So we'd be looking at, like, I guess, looking at the texture or material that you're on, and then applying an effect to you. We've talked about some stuff like this as just sort of like the stuff that we do when we're kind of bullshitting around behind the scenes. But there hasn't been any major commitment to this type of stuff. We've talked about a smaller version of this, like in Telekir when it's raining, there are the various like sky bridges that connect to that central piece, and they're covered with grass. We've talked about the idea of whether or not they could become slippery, sort of like a little bit of like a Velk's, Velk's ice scenario. When you're running around up there, it starts raining and they get a little bit slippery and you got to watch out. And that one seems, because it's so specific, so isolated, it seems more doable. But I think that might be one of those fun, like, little weird things we would explore later on once we got more of the meat and potatoes in. I guess the question is why, and is it worth it? Does it make the game more enjoyable? Just thought. Yeah, and I think that's a more concise way of kind of hitting at what I was mentioning up there. So Nick says, okay, the trick is heal me or I'm getting slammed using lesser heals. Whoa, I'm read two things at once. Heal me only with the hot, but if you forget to heal, I'm getting slammed, use lesser heals in emergency. Make sure to auto attack things too. Alright, let's try it out. That's awful bright. So these are blue. That takes a little chunk. Let me go ahead and give him... Adventuring in a dungeon without boots seems like a bold move. We've got the cleanest dungeons. Justin Beard said, Robot, this is kind of random, but I absolutely love learning the different languages that the races have and then getting a quest because I can speak the language. I think we've already got a quest or two like that in, and I believe Ivan is working on even more. We'll have to get a fire going whenever we get to where we're going. Steve Fence said, I remember hearing about diabolical D&D dungeons, and they had gelatinous cubes roaming the halls to clean up all the dead adventurers, etc. Oh, that's true. Is this Palia? What's up, Darius? I was rooting for those guys. I really was. I thought before the game came out, I thought they were gonna do like fantastically well. But then the game came out, and it really wasn't much of an MMO, was it? Saw MMORPG had a Eminem pick, and above it says something like Pally is dead. I get what you're saying now. I remember you posting that in Discord. Yeah, it sucks. Pretty big team. The team that shipped it was like, I think it's like 150 people. Oh no, you're gonna die, Nick. You're for sure gonna die. Oh my gosh. Not fast enough. Probably poor use of mana on my end. We're gonna figure it out though. Oh. Good. Good. That's how we learn, right, guys? De-leveled and everything, did I? Oh, no. Prophet of Prime, thank you for the follow. Casual yeast. I want to say casually. Casual yeast. Thank you for the raid. Popstacular, thank you for the follow. Let me mim some abilities really quick. Well, actually, mainly just one IBU. Cool. Oh man, we just died. You weren't here for that, right? You guys just came in right after we died. So, all right. What else do we need? What did I actually use? Healing spores for sure. Put that on one. Dylan said, living the best MMO life, naked at the bank about to corpse run. I mean, it's a significant part of the play experience. Flame burst, don't need it. Nick, do you think that if I had slowed with exhaustion, the outcome would have been different? Or should I basically just be dumping all my mana into heals? I think we're good. Let me put my book back in the bag. Oops. Alright, let's go. Dargith. Yeah, that's fair. It'll probably wear off by then. It'll definitely wear off by then. I do like that you say my name like I say my children's middle names. The tone implies nothing good. The Bobster said, oh neat, you're remembering from your book and then leaving your book in a safe spot. Yep. Correct. Really need a snarky NPC to greet newly deceased and wish them on their corpse recovery. In certain areas, that may wind up happening. This wipe was just an elaborate ruse to show off CRs without spellbook. No. That was legitimately me helping us get killed. That was just an honest L. Well, the various move rate enhancers be the only long-term speed modifying spell, or will there be other mage whiz spells that will help you run faster as well? I'm not aware of any other classes doing it now. Nick's got something in mind on that one. Maybe he'll mention it. All right. I was going to see if you wanted another for group, but then you wiped, so. Oh, well, that's on you, buddy. I've got to get unused to taunting. Susceptibility makes your target more susceptible to ailments, decreasing their disease, poison, and magic resist. Maybe if we get more in the group. What else we got? Minor dexterity. Minor stamina. Minor agility. Malady. I have to tip my cap to her. Flame burst. I mean, I guess I can add it in case we add someone to the group. Please make that the spellcast animation for that spell. My lady. Do you have team members working on special effects or effects as well? I really like the spell effects you guys have. Yes, Zukin, who's been doing character art, also does SFX. He was in here earlier. Cut off your head followed 8 minutes ago. I don't know how I missed that. Thank you for the follow. Also, I really like that name. What's your name? Cut off your head. Perfect. All right. Glad we could talk. I was just trying to picture what player race cut off your head would be. Hey, Taru. Hola. Zukin says, I haven't had a lot of time to put more into VFX, but I certainly want to. They're fun. Dwarven, of course. No one likes them. Everybody loves dwarves. Like, making spell effects is actually really fun. I did some a few years ago before we had folks on the team, and it's honestly, it's a really relaxing way to like spend an afternoon. As fun as making shaders? No, because I don't understand shaders, but I can figure out spell effects. Zukin, one day if you're ever thinking that you just want to do some spell effects, I would love to get in like a huddle with you. Just spend a couple hours bullshitting around about spell effects. John asked what we should bring. Oh yay, we dinged. I'd be curious to see how we do with more DPS with me continuing to figure out how to heal. That's just my opinion. Question when watching Zukin stream is, do I donate 5 or 5 times to hear the Money Hat song on repeat? It really just depends on what you're doing. What you, I mean, are you trying to relax? Are you trying to get like pumped up? It's really just a vibe thing. Possum, only you can answer that. Let's see. Thanks, Shinny D. Zukin said that'd be cool. Hopefully Ali pops in and I can pester him about some things too. That would be nice. Yeah, Taro, they're definitely a bit more durable. One of those was yellow. That was super precarious. Yeah, Time to Kill felt really, really nice. I'd be curious to see what it felt like with the full group. There's stabs a lot. It's somewhere around here hidden. Let me see if I can get a better weapon. Uh-huh. I think, well, probably would have helped if I would have grabbed, some gear before I left the bank. Can I make my way back? Okay, don't aggro anything while I'm gone, I guess. Kind of missed the important part earlier. Oh wait, wrong one. Oh wait, wrong one again. Did you get invited to the group, John? I heard you talk, but you're not here. Hey, Quicksana. Yeah, I don't see you. I do not see you, John. Took your stuff and moose out for some sweet tea. Miss South Carolina. Surprised they got it up here. Maine. How big of a sweet tea? And what does a big sweet tea cost? Because I'm gonna assume you got a big one. You're my big tall cup of sweet tea, Pumpkin. Hey, what's up, Puddin'? Hey, Puddin' Pop. Got mine at McDonald's. It's 32 ounces for $1.59. Man, that's not too horrible, I guess. I'm trying to remember how much a Biggie sweet tea cost at Wendy's back in the day. John, you're not showing on who either. You can see your damage on... Oh my gosh. I really gotta stop trying to talk. How do you get free coffee at the train station, Nick? Yeah, so... There you are. Weird. But you're still not showing in who. To know a nice old lady provides it every day. Oh, I don't trust it. I don't stop drinking the coffee, Nick. I don't trust it. What if she's poisoning you? I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it. You gotta stop. You gotta get this. You need to take the coffee and get it analyzed. Get the coffee analyzed. Rolling. I don't know, man. Poison coffee seems like something an old lady would do. Hey, Stout Tea. Hey, very timely. We've been talking about tea. I think we live in the Matrix. Really cool how much a campfire adds to the visual and auditory ambience. Really makes it feel more real to me. Can't wait to play again. We can't wait to have you in here, Possum. Not far off, I have a friend of mine I went to school with. His neighbor poisoned her husband. Well, I mean, it's a ladies' thing. I think the data supports that. I'm not saying anything controversial. Women tend to be more of the poisony sort. Feldane said wakes up in bed and she breaks his legs. He's like, Nick, I'm your #1 fan. Nick, you need to stop nerfing elementalists. There are people in the Middle Ages whose entire job was basically eat something first. There are people today whose entire job is to do that. Don't think we've evolved beyond that, buddy. I know we're still tweaking stuff, but I gotta say, I feel like we've come a long way. Let's see. Sorry. Darius says, are elementalists able to summon a lot of random things like mages and EQ, or are they more narrowly focused? I would expect that we'd still be summoning some random things. That was fun, right? Sorry, I was listening to spell effects. So I had my well, and they're currently doing that. If I'm not mistaken, they're already doing that. Darius. Man, back-to-back clerics. These skeletons have any loot on them? No, I don't need that. Oh, we're moving. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't think my region's actually going to... My region's not going to be enough for it to be worthwhile for me to sit down. Are these conning? Even con. Oh, the extra DPS helps a ton. Let's see. Yeah, guys. I realize how quiet I'm being. I'm trying to actually think. This is my first time playing a shaman in a group here in our game. Is the TLP up yet? And how many of you are actively playing on it this time around? You're stuck in the queue. You're also in the queue. What's up, Droop? It has been a while. How you doing? Quick sound has said, gonna play tonight. Right on. Emote Pug said waiting for tech support ticket to be resolved. No playable servers are listed in the launcher. Ah. That's disappointing. Possum's currently on paternity leave until June 17th, so probably cram as much DLP in as you can until I head back to work. Right on. Droop said, doing great, just slaving away at work like always. You guys have been getting tons done by what I can catch on YouTube and a newsletter. Yeah, it's we're definitely keeping busy. Thanks for checking out the VODs. Even con. Oh, you're talking about your M&M ticket. I see what you're saying. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'm sorry. We may not be able to fix that problem for you anytime soon. What's up, Dragon? Missed you up there. Yeah, I think anytime I've hopped onto a TLP, it's been a blast. Like I just love seeing all the new people running around. It's really fun. It's just there's no way that I could justify the time taken away from M&M stuff right now. I just couldn't do it. Like if I felt like I had, you know, a handful of hours here and there to hop in and play EQ, I would honestly at this point just try to, there's other stuff that I'd want to get into the game. It's sort of it's that toss up between, and it's always been the case in my experience, at least in game development. You wind up in a situation of, could I be having fun and justify it by, hey, I'm learning something about other games, or I'm reinforcing game knowledge and sort of a key competitor or whatever, on one hand, but on the other hand, it's just like the more stuff that I can put in game, the more stuff that you get to find in game, right? And that's winds up being such a big appeal, like this idea of putting cool shit in game for you to check out. Zukin said, especially right now, with trying to cram stuff in by test dates, thinking of canceling my stream today to work on secret things. I definitely know that feeling as well. Right, because there's certain stuff that we really can't do on stream or don't want to do on stream. And some stuff it's just not for the stream. It's not stream stuff. Like kind of paperworky shit and stuff like that. And so then it winds up being one of those things where it's like, oh, all right, I could spend a few hours streaming, or I could get this other thing done. So that can be tough sometimes. And then one of my, like, you know, just being real with you, one of my personal challenges at times with streaming is there'll be times where I'm like, okay, that might have been overkill. I swear I keep hitting taunt and I don't have a taunt. I'm just wasting mana. Yeah, but one of the challenges I have with streaming at times is just I come in, I'm like shit, is this gonna be the most entertaining stream for these guys, right? Like, is my head in the right spot? Am I gonna, you know, like tonight playtesting is fun. I'm learning a new class, we're in here, got a little group going, enjoying playtesting, but I realize I'm being super quiet, right? So if you're watching the VOD and you're just listening, or if you're watching the stream and you've just got it like on another monitor while you work or whatever, apologies. I know a few of you have been like, hey, no worries, I enjoy the sound effect and shit in the background, which is awesome. I'm glad you enjoy it, but I still feel a little guilty. Streaming's not harder people would give it credit for being. It's definitely not what I thought it was going to be when I first started. Really is between technical, finicky Twitch things and having to be on the entire broadcast. It can be exhausting. Dude, everyone's, you know, This guy's he's getting his dance on. Honestly, streams are entirely just dependent on you guys. What's up, Dark Inside? When we're in here talking shit and you guys are super interactive and stuff like that, then it makes it easier for me. You carry the stream. Then other times, especially when I'm doing something like this, it's just going to be what it be. I grind this. Thank you for the follow 30 minutes ago. Apologies that I haven't seen it sooner. Like I said, I've just basically been staring at the screen with my mouth open. Thanks, Dark Edict. Dark Inside said, just working on the RPG game I've been working on in Unreal. OMG, weapon switching and different move stats for each weapon. Difficult. Yeah, I can imagine. That is part of the fun of having a team. Speaking of which, you'll see it in the next newsletter. But we just added a new team member yesterday. Programming in blueprints is much easier than code, but making it clean and efficient is a problem, especially for co-op. Yeah. I've always been a little bit dubious of blueprints and scaling over time, or maintenance of all of that over time. I guess if you've got a good structure in place, you can keep track of everything. Wonder if John's gonna be able to repro this bug. See if you can make the skeleton dance again. It was happening on my screen, and then I hit reload. Eminem team seems to be expanding rapidly as of late. Yeah, I mean, we had a couple of very specific roles fill in when we brought in Bullet to look at the RP stuff, Blink for video. The addition of Mike on the environment side is really nice. It was cool, just really fortunate timing and someone with good experience who's been able to come in and hit the ground running, so that's nice, because environments is one of those areas where it's a long leg, right? It takes a while to get that stuff made, and it's key to us getting more content in. And then with the individual that we just added, well, and then naturally not to forget Nate the intern. Thanks for bringing him in, Harrison. Hello out there, Nate. But then we just out of the blue had someone reach out to us on the animation side of things, and animation's a pretty tight part of our funnel right now, because we've got Zukin and Zach working on characters, and then all of that has been going in, and that's an area where Goblin can help as well. But then all of that goes into animation. We have one animator, or we've had one animator, and that's all going on, basically landing on Erkenstaff's head. And so that's one of those areas where it's like, oh man, all right, that's a lot to just have piled on one person. So we had recently had an animator reach out, who's somebody that's really experienced in the games industry, and so that was cool. We spoke for a bit and was like, oh shit, this guy's really rad. He's really really into what we're doing. He was in chat, but yeah, so he reached out and we talked for a bit, and it seemed like a kind of a no-brainer for us to bring him on board. You better not suck. Exactly, water from dust. We're keeping an eye on this guy. Yeah, speaking of which, I should probably mod you if you're in here. Genuine question, is the market audience for this game Nostalgic Geek? Dude, I cannot talk tonight. I apologize. I am slurring my words. And I only had one Red Bull, so I don't know what happened. I should just slow down is what it is. Is it... Oh, fuck. Really? Is the market audience for this game Nostalgic Kiki players, or are you guys trying to carve your own general audience? Sorry if you answered this already. So we've got... Whoop, hold on, I will answer that right after this, probably, if Nick doesn't immediately die. Okay, lay of hands, I'm assuming. Ah, talking the wrong one. Cleric then Deacon. Alright, shit. I think that's it for me on heals, guys. Apologies. Insufficient mana. Ah, shit. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, so looking at what we think our total addressable market, and who is the name on that again? Chickpea Curry. If we look at all the folks that are kind of like us, that really sort of had our first formative MMO experience with EQ. That's definitely a group that we're looking at is like our primary audience. Folks that played EQ, EQA, Final Fantasy 11, and to some degree, we'll see, we get a little tiny bit of carryover with folks that are a little nostalgic for like Asheron's Call, and despite us being a very different game, we still get some people in the community that are like, oh man, this reminds me of it. And then as we get a few other systems in, we may get some people that just want something that's got like a retro feel, but like a strong sense of place. So we may get some UO folks or whatever, but we're not as sandboxy, so maybe not. But like some folks on the team, for example, like Ollie, really loved UO back in the day, and so that that's something that we're thinking about as we're thinking of certain systems that we're putting in, and systems that reinforce the sense of place and some of the social interaction, right? So anyways, I would say that's kind of our primary group that we're targeting. Then, then if we look at, secondary, tertiary groups that we are looking to get in. When we started this in 2020, even though it was kind of more of just us messing around and like, are we going to make a game in 2020? D&D had its biggest year ever, I think, 40 million players. And so my assumption is that there's, if we look at the Venn diagram, there is a certain amount of overlap with regards to the people playing D&D and the people that already have MMO experience. But of the 40 million, there's probably a lot of additional people coming into the scene that haven't played an MMO, right? And some of what we're doing with going with the old school style of play, a little bit slower action, a little bit more tactical, a little bit more focused on sense of place, and we're doing a lot more with RPG systems like the faction and religion and our interactive, our mud actions interacting with the environment and stuff. And just being a less sort of structured gamey feel and more of this is a quirky place where you can find shit depending on what's going on with the moons or whatever, right? Lots of rares, all sorts of stuff. So anyways, I think it'll appeal to, there is something in the old formula, like just inherent to the old style of play that was a bit slower, a bit grindier, a bit more about persistence than mechanical skill. I think that made it easy for a lot of different people to get into playing. So that's one of the things that we're looking at when we look at like the D&D folks that haven't played an MMO before. And then the other group, again, whether that be secondary or tertiary, would be younger folks, people that have first discovered wanting a third place. There's home, there's school, there's this place that you hang out, right? Wanting a third place or wanting to hang out in a virtual world from Minecraft, from Roblox, from Fortnite. I think I've mentioned in the past there's a lot of articles written up about like Fortnite, it's people's new third place because it's a place that like parents, could play with their kids. They'd in the evening be able to hang out with their kids online and have that be something they could do together. And again, if we get the right mix in terms of like challenge and mechanical skill and pace, then that could be something that families could share together, right? A little bit like the old EQ scenario. And coming from my last company, we know that kids age out of... Oops, I've got one here. Oh shit, we got two here. So kids... Oh, now we got a cleric. Not a ton of mana. Uh-oh, hold on. I'll continue rambling in a second. Yeah, this guy's gonna get me. Ooh, nice. Okay. Okay. Fizzle, thank you for the follow. Sit on me. Alright. Safe spot. Oh man, that was close. That felt really, really nice. Anyway, so then tertiary, it's looking at those. Actually, this way. Shit. Looking at those kids that are coming out of other games, haven't necessarily played an MMO before or have, but there's a lot of folks that we've talked to that are younger that have heard about the old games and how hard they were and how different they were. And honestly, when you're a young person, like I grew up listening to punk rock and shit a lot of times because I wanted to listen to something that other people weren't listening to, right? And so, you know, there weren't a lot of kids in my town in Dothan, Alabama listening to like Minor Threat and Fugazi and shit, right? So I think there's a certain appeal to finding something quirky and different. And when you look at the number of young people that are out there, was it games like Minecraft and Roblox, they've got 150 million plus monthly active users. If you just get little slivers here and there, that really adds up. So anyways, let me see what you guys are saying. Yeah, we barely pulled off the first one, and then the second one was kind of wild. A lot of folks are going to want to RP. It'll feed them between sessions. They crave it when playing pen and paper RPGs. Yeah. Gives them a place to go do that. And again, I think the death of in-game chat has been greatly over-exaggerated. We've even seen that in our playtest. Like, people will chat with each other in-game. Gaming family is a loving family. Yep. Saren says, me and my son play together all the time. Our PCs are even in the same room. Family game evenings happening every day. That's badass. Chickpea Curry said, thanks for taking the time to answer. You're very welcome. Thanks for asking the question. Valerine78 said, I met my husband playing EQ. Moved from Ohio to Texas just to be with him 20 years ago this autumn. Oh, that's badass. Yeah, we heard those stories so often when I was on the team. It was just kind of mind-blowing. Let's see. Fizzle said, thanks, can't wait to play. I met my wife playing EQ and have been married for almost 18 years. Right on. Shinji said, hey, my fiance moved from Texas to Ohio. Nice trade. Oh, pop. Cool. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. Water from Dust said my return for Gazi. I know, like, dude, I've got such an eclectic mix from back then. Mondis says, yeah, also games like Elden Ring are hugely popular and are notoriously not hand-holdy. Yeah, there's a lot of discussion of not hand-holdy out there, which, you know, that's something we talk about a lot. And I think that until we go live and even after, there's going to be some arguments about what that means. But yeah, we'll definitely be erring on the side of not holding hands. Because there are a lot of little... There's nuances with that I think really play into the vibe pretty hard. It gets easy to underestimate how much little things can take away from the feel. Quinn says, yes, us 40-plus-year-olds need a place to be counterculture. And find our own cool. If it's cool enough, they'll come for it. Grey Fox said, will the upcoming stress test include more skills, spells for the available classes? Some folk kind of rushed in. Last one, like the archer. There's absolutely more than the last time you played. Just keep in mind that as we're doing these tests, they're less about like I mean, it's invariably you're going to judge the quality of the game by what you're playing in the game, right? Like, that's understandable. We get it. But we're doing these not as like a, hey, we're super ready for prime time. It's more of a, hey, you want to come in and check shit out? So it's, you know, it's early, but every time you play, you're going to see more and more stuff. Right? So, downside, not everything will be fleshed out in these playtests, early playtests. Upside, every playtest will be better than the last. Is the game still considered pre-alpha at this point? It's just considered in development at this point. It's not even a... I don't think we're really using those nomenclatures very much. There's a video on YouTube about games using yellow paint too often. It's a good watch. By the time you read the comment, it'll probably be irrelevant to the conversation. Feel free to skip. No, it's good. And I think we have watched that one. We share a lot of videos in our Slack. Damn, he got murdered. Oops. Let me put some fuel in the fire. Oops. Let me actually do my job and heal Nick. And that was my mana. Took it down to nothing. Piece of Energy said, I'm playing TLPs on EQ and then either Grounded or Stardew Valley with my girlfriend. Stardew's incredible. Stardew was on our list of inspirations when we first started the game. There's some fun stuff to be learned or taken from that for a game like what we're doing. Callum mentioned hardcore, not handholdy, versus respecting people's time. The respecting people's time thing is it's a challenge because I think some of that's like in the eye of the beholder. There's some stuff that's that some people look at and they're totally fine with, and other people look at and they're like, this is not respecting my time. So don't think we're going to make everybody happy, but I also don't think we're going to make everything something that everybody has to do. You never would have guessed Stardew influence in Eminem? Wait until more of our random trade skills and stuff come online, and maybe some of that will also become a little more apparent when you see what we do with more scheduled content or content that's based on certain things. I think I keep using the example, like we have the ability to spawn stuff based off lunar alignment right now, right? So you can imagine if we can do that with spawns, we can do that with harvests, we can do that with foraging, fishing. Once we've got farming in, wagoneering is going to be OP. Never go wagoneering through certain zones on full moons. So some of the things we wanted to play around with the merchants, our picky merchants. In the past, we've talked about more discreet sort of relationship building with certain NPCs and things of that nature. Not sure if we'll wind up going that route, but again, just talking about the early influence. Do you guys have fishing in yet past what it was before? Last I tried, it was basically you hit button, wait, things pop on cursor. Nope. At the moment, that's it. We got a pop here. Keep hitting that button for no damn reason. Fishing isn't top priority. You're appalled. I know. No, Droop, a lot of people are very into fishing. Yeah, I was just bringing up my slow to see, like, reread it again. I was like, Hey, what's up, Ollie? Speaking of fishing and trade skills. Oh shit, we're going. No more mana. Fizzle. Oh my gosh. All right. Who forgot to slow the mob? I tried. I swear I tried. I think, yeah. I swear that was slowed. I'd have to scroll up. Hey Jasmine, welcome home. How's the game? No showstopper bugs. There's a weird animation loop. Nick said check your Slack, so there's probably a list going on. All right. Okay, not missing anything crazy. Oh wait, don't want to take the book with me. Might as well just while I'm here. Healing spores. Are the light levels in Wormsbane? I'll be honest, I haven't paid sufficient attention. Yeah, the TTK does feel good. It's been nice. There have been plenty of there have been plenty of times where it's like, are we gonna pull this off? And just barely made it through. It's felt really nice. This sandstorm is something else. Oh, did I just ran the wrong way because of it. Category 10 sandstorm. We do we have different levels? I thought we had 2 different levels, Ollie. It's seasonal. Okay, intensity of the sandstorms is seasonal. Awesome. Summer has the worst sandstorms. You need volumes to fade out the sandstorms? Yeah. Quit biting me, Jackal. Why are there mobs inside the cave? Is this intentional? It's because John trained them to the zone line. John is the bug. Yeah, it's not a bug. I mean, it's by design, right? That's the whole idea of training shit. Emergent gameplay, dog. 1999 style. I need to pee. I'll be right back. What in the world? What was rude? Did someone do something rude, or was it rude for me to go pee? Ability book. My lady. Oop. Susceptibility. Load it just in case. Ali said, someone tell Sean to give an opinion on light levels. No one did this. You have failed. Oh shit, I brought both books with me. Oh no. Oh no. Well, we've got a rogue. We'll get our corpses back. I got excited and forgot to put my book back in the bank. Emergent gameplay. This is why you need 3 books. Yes. 2 is 1. 1 is none. 3 is 1. In this case. We're totally not cheating. We're experiencing the game as players would. Hello, banker. Fancy meeting you here in the dungeon. Oh no, he died. What class gets the summon banker spell? It's a very, very rare clicky. When do you think you'll be done streaming? I might pop in and do some content workouts since Zukin isn't stream today. I'll be done in like 45 minutes. Speaking of forgetting books, will we see spell books with random past spells in them as drops of some thematic appropriate mob? Oh, that's an interesting idea. Right on, Goblin. Can you add the robot from here to Discord? I might be able to. I don't know what all I can do in Twitch anymore now that I've forsaken my affiliatedom. Dragon, you'll have to remind me in Discord so I don't forget. When the others add it, we can still use it here also if they add it to theirs. Oh yeah, that's true. Very fair point. Very true. Do I have enough wood? I don't have enough wood. How do I feel about the lighting was what Ollie was asking. I feel like it's still too bright. Would be my... Like we haven't run into many, if any, dark spots. Not sure there's anything we can do about the named, Nick says. Server coming down in 60 seconds. Get to the safe hall. Alright, we've got 60 seconds till the server drops. Ten seconds. Then we should be able to come right back in. Yeah, if we're unable to do the named, that kind of feels good. It was neat to see how close we got before, but if we're unable to get them, that's kind of neat. Because I think if we had one more person, we could do it. What is the name con? I can't remember. Was it yellow? I mean, part of the challenge though is that he's got 2 others with him in the room. Though, didn't we get him solo last time? So we were able to actually break it. Oh, the room was already broken from the placeholder. Okay, that's what it was. Right? Ugh, man. Zukin, have you shown off the sand giant in game yet? Not that I plan on it. I was just curious. What's up, friendly liquid? You ever getting a sub button? No, I gave my sub button back. I had one, and then I gave it away. If you would like to sub here, I would recommend going to one of the other streamers. We've got like 4 people streaming now, maybe 5 in the future. Sub to one of them, and or I recommend, it's not financial advice, but you could buy a lottery ticket, and if you win the lottery, then let us know. Why did I give up my affiliate status? Just I live in Germany. I'm an American, but I live in Germany, and they've got really, they're really into their tax law here. So I did not want to have to deal with the random bureaucracy and bullshit associated with German tax law. Where are you? Any Plane of Meat updates? Nope. Nope, not yet. Still waiting on the merch store to spend your coin. One of these days. I'm not waiting for you right now. No, just for the server. That is correct, Goblin. Yeah, don't sweat it. The new EQTLP has a 1-hour wait to log in. Good for them. It's nice to see people are interested. Especially it's what? It's a Wednesday, and it's what time where you're at? Like 4:30 or something? Here we go. 1:30. Oh wait, are you West Coast? Is that what it is? Okay. Yeah. I always forget how many time zones America has. Wouldn't surprise me if they need a 3rd TLP server in a couple of weeks. Is that popular? Well, that would be very cool. That would be a good sign for them. Freaking dwarves. My outfit's a little strange at the moment, I feel. I've got on like a pink mantle and sort of a Fifth Element shirt. It'd be cool to get the starting stuff a little more earth tony, less pastel. Us older millennials have been waiting for a game like M&M, and now we have our own money and don't have to ask mom and dad for their credit card info. To get off the landline so we can play. Mom, don't pick up the phone. Steve C _VR. Is that Steve Clover? That would be cool if it was Steve Clover. Did I hear you were wearing a Fifth Element shirt like the movie? One of my favorite movies. Yes, Puddin'. If Steve C is not Steve Clover, you're still welcome. Thank you for being here. But it would be cooler if it were. One of the best movies ever made. Game's looking pretty cool. Like what you guys are doing with it. Thank you very much. Still got spores. Okay. Skeleton sounds so crunchy, brings a tear to my eye. Gentle Mango, thank you very much for asking. Keep an eye on Discord. We update whenever we're looking for a specific role or skill set. But we are not currently looking for anyone. Oops. But I appreciate it. You're right, Nick. I'm starting to get used to the sound. It does grow on me pretty quickly. Yodan said, "Let's see a big pool." You were not here earlier. We've died a couple times, and it's been really close a few times since then. Steve, if that is you, I just wanted to say that when was it? It was last year. The interview that was done was pretty exceptional. I really enjoyed that interview. There was a ton of information in there that I just wasn't aware of. If that's not you, then it still stands. It's just I'm talking about somebody completely different. It's you? Okay, cool, man. Awesome. Yeah, it was a really cool interview. It's one of those ones, actually, it's worth going back and having another listen to. Most of you rambling? Nah, it was not. I always feel like I'm rambling, and so, well, then again, I actually am rambling. No, the interview was really good. If I'm trying to think the easiest way to direct people to it. Actually, I think I have a link to it on my my community thing on my YouTube. Yeah. So shit. Oh shit. Don't die. Yeah, so anyways, I'll push the button again. So those of you that didn't hear it when it came out last year, there's a really great interview. If you've liked my interviews I've done with folks on EverQuest. Yeah. And I'm not a very good healer at that, so double distracted. But yeah, if you like the previous EverQuest interviews, I definitely recommend you find the community note or whatever it is that I put on my channel that was referencing the interview with Steve Clover when he first joined up with the Pantheon folk. There's a ton of EverQuest history in there that I don't think was covered in the various interviews that I did. So yeah. And so those of you that don't know Steve Clover, you really should check out the interview. But Steve was like, when I first got to Variant as it was turning into SOE, Steve was like one of the people that was walking around like the living legend walking around the halls of EverQuest. One of the adults. Like, how do you phrase that? One of the people that made the game. So it was always cool, like being able to interact with those guys when I first got there and like customer service, and eventually got on the team. But yeah, there's a lot of background in that interview on the stuff that he contributed, and talking a lot about like he and Brad working on EQ early on. And I think there's a lot of stuff that, because before there were more interviews out there, there is I think it gets easy to just kind of think that like only one person or two people are making the game, and the ground that he covers in that interview kind of shows you some of the contributions that were critical that he made, and kind of reinforces that idea that these games get made by teams, not people, not one person in there. Two people, it's usually a lot more than that. But if I remember it correctly, it was he and Brad that were working on War Wizard and stuff before EverQuest was even a thing. So again, really good background info. You never played team sports as a child, Shaka? Man, you missed out. Teamwork makes the dream work. Did I ever do an interview with Dave Georgeson? Nope, I haven't. But Nick's been saying that I need to get some of the PlanetSide folks in for interviews, and if I ever do that, then I would try to get Georgeson. Even though I don't know, you may not want to do an interview with me. I don't remember. I don't know that we necessarily got along super at the time, and I'm fairly certain I've probably talked shit or something since then. So, but that's the dangers of streaming and not having a filter. Would I ever consider interviewing Raph? I think he's on Raph's team. I mean, if Raph wanted to do an interview, I'd interview Raph. Raph was always a cool guy. I remember back in the day, my ex-wife, well, one of my ex-wives was, like, one of the people that proofread Raph's book. Like a printed out version of it. I think she still has that. So yeah, it was a small world back then. I was just looking the other day to see what those guys are up to. There are a couple good people there. Core TV, thank you for the follow. Kevin Burns is there. I think there's a couple or a few former SOE people there. I should probably turn off auto attack. What classes are on the screen besides Rogue? I am playing a Shaman expertly, and Nick is a Paladin. You're welcome. Well, he died fast. Did I get Steve in there to group with you? If we had more than 20 minutes left. Dude, expert level playing right now. Right now, is most gear crafted or dropped by creatures or both? It's mostly dropped by creatures, but we've got stuff that you can craft, yes. Thorfinn said, it'd be interesting if you interview David Brevik. He loved EQ with his wife back in the day, but had come to the conclusion that the game was pretty bad actually, and then he had rose-tinted glasses. And then his wife and him start playing P99 and got addicted all over again. Yeah, I've heard that story a couple times. I actually used to pop into their stream. Before I started streaming, I popped into their stream. And when I first started streaming, I'd pop in there and watch them. So here's something you got to realize about me. I'm fairly, it's weird. I'm not necessarily introverted because even in real life, I'm fine talking a lot of shit and just being kind of like, ugh. But usually that's because I'm a fairly insecure, shy person, kinda. I don't know how to describe it, because shy's not right either. Like, I think I've always just been a little, outgoing because of the fact that I'm like so starstruck by everybody all the time. So it's not necessarily a natural thing for me to like just be like, hey Brevik, you want to talk to me on my stream? Like, why? Like, why would he want to? And even with regards to like, EQ topics or whatever, it's been really cool having people come on this stream and do the interviews and stuff. But I've felt that was okay because it was other people coming in in describing what they were doing, right? Like we were talking about a lot of shit that other people did. I mean, I don't feel comfortable having someone come on and me like represent EQ. I was on the team for whatever it was, 4 or 5 expansions. I don't know, 5 or 6, whatever it was. I was on the team for a few expansions. It's not like I made the game, right? So I see it a fair bit differently. Like if somebody like Steve wanted to discuss, like be a representative of the game, then it would, I think it'd probably be easier, or not easier, it'd be better suited than me being like, hey, you want to talk about EverQuest? And then the other thing too is, most of you guys come in here and your game knowledge is 10 times that of mine, right? Because I think you played longer, or you've just got less mushy brains or whatever, so I can only tell you about the stuff that I worked on, and for the most part I can tell you like what I was thinking or what we were doing at the time. And honestly, you guys come in and remind me of stuff that I worked on that I've forgotten about more than I actually remember what I worked on. So that's my story. Thorfinn. Where's our fire? I'm gonna cheat. GM on. SI wood 20. GM off. Siebes, thank you for the follow. How hard is it as a dev to balance old school fundamentals versus modern gaming quality of life changes? I think it really just comes down to deconstructing both as much as possible and thinking about the application, like what is it actually that we're trying to achieve, right? Because a lot of times we'll hear in Discord or like in a comment here or whatever, it's, you know, this idea that we're doing it just because it was done before, which we've spent a lot of time and have spent a lot of time over the last like 4 years talking about what exactly what are the implications of doing this specific thing or not doing a specific thing. And sometimes they're very obvious implications, but other times there are a lot of, there's a belief at least that there's an accumulation of effect that's super subtle and at times maybe even subconscious, not to sound like a bullshit psychologist or whatever, but there are these tiny little things that lead to a certain vibe. And I was actually thinking about this when I went upstairs to take my bio break. For whatever reason, this came into mind because we were talking about total addressable market and like who is our actual market and all of that stuff. It's this thing of, if you were to take a performance like an old school muscle car where you just step on the gas and the ass end of it slides and it's loud and it smells like gas and oil and it's shaking and the steering sucks, but it's got like a certain it's got a certain effect, right? And so, and when you see it, it's got a different look. It sounds different. It smells different. It's got tons of flaws. Modern cars are better engineered. Modern cars are better. Modern cars have better quality of life in tons of regard. Squeaky ass heavy door slamming shut, but the effect of that muscle car is irreplaceable. And it provides a certain pleasure, like a visceral pleasure, that other vehicles, even though they are great, don't provide, right? Like, and you see this a lot if you listen to people that are like really into cars. I'm not a car person necessarily, but I've listened to enough of them. And you'll listen to them talk about, like, if you listen to like a Joe Rogan, dude's got like 20 cars, and he can talk about how each car feels different and what experience the various cars provide for him. And he's like, yeah, he's got a Tesla as well, right? And a Tesla, step on the gas, boom, it just, goes 0 to 60 in whatever it is you tell us, Puddin, like 2 seconds or some shit, like 1.5 seconds, I don't know, whatever is fast. But that's so different than like sitting there in that rumbling beast of a car and stepping on the gas, right? And so when Puddin said Model S is 1.9 seconds. Yeah. So, Steve, thanks for the follow. Yeah, so you can deconstruct that. And I would say that if you're building something more modern, like a Hellcat or something like that, odds are they look into like what makes this feel a certain way. And some of it's going to be superficial in the styling of it. Some of it, like if you were to do it, if you really wanted to provide that feel, there are certain quality of life things that I could see you doing. No, go ahead, John. I mean, I could see. I always thought it'd be interesting, and I know companies do this, right? They take the classic vehicles and then they just basically Tesla them out, right? So you've got all of the quality of life changes, and the crazy torque and all that stuff from going electric, but then you've got what looks like an old vehicle, and that's cool. I always thought that would be very cool, but I think you could go a step further and look at all of the different things that make the feel, right? Like sitting into that low seat, like what is the feel of the seat? An old ass springy seat feels different, and it's going to play into how you ride in the car, right? Like your suspension, the bounce of the seat, the texture of the materials, the smell of the materials, all of this shit is different. And so I think there are modern cars that provide all of the quality of life and smoothness and amenities, and they have a place in the world and they're awesome and people enjoy them. There are the in-betweens, like you're saying, like a resto mod is a combo of both. Would you consider M&M a resto mod? Not really, because I still think we're really looking to go, how do we go back and try to get into the minds of somebody like Steve, which I don't know if we're capable of doing that, but we can imagine, like, all right, maybe this is what Steve and Brad and other people were thinking about when they were picturing what EQ was. When people were playing EQ and then making Final Fantasy 11, what were they picturing? And like, it's really a thing where we're trying to figure out what were the game designers and the artists in 1999 picturing, and were there things that they didn't get a chance to do that they would have liked to have done? And can we go a little bit deeper with some of that stuff, right? So, and then there are other retro elements that we're doing just because it's a stylization thing, is right? Like the mud actions. The reason why we call them mud actions, I mean, is it really that much of a link to multi-user dungeon or whatever? But it's text-based interaction, right? And it brings up the nostalgia of the old text-based adventure games, and thus then, plus it's online, so then muds and blah, blah, blah. So there's just a lot of little pieces trying to poke at that sense of a nostalgia, all the way to the reference of like, art with the sort of like influence of old school rock album covers, right? It's like anything we can find that makes this nostalgic, we grab and we deconstruct and see if we can fit it in. Steve said, yep, and if you take that old car that has specific feel and make too many updates to it, it loses the character it had. Yeah, exactly. And many times it's completely valid to sand down and polish those rough edges. They're rough edges. But once they're polished, then it's different. And so in some cases it's like, well, in all of this, it comes down to, because we were talking about like, who is the market? I think it gets really easy to lose your unique identity when making a game, and it's just I don't know, it's a better risk to maintain a very unique identity and potentially not have that be something that is successful, instead of trying to like guess at how much you need to flex away from what you really want to do in order to get enough success and then have something that just doesn't stand out. Ultimately, you guys need to make the game you want to play. Yep, exactly. And it's funny, like, it's funny when it's other people's money on the line, when it's a bigger company or whatever, it's funny how often I've heard that not be the case. Like, I've heard a lot of folks be like, you can't make the game that you want to, you can't just make the game that you want to play, which is, I guess it makes sense in certain contexts, but it's definitely not what we're wanting to do. If you build it, they will come, or they won't come, but either way, you've built it. And how do you know if you don't build the thing that you want to build, right? Like, and maybe it doesn't click immediately. Maybe, you know, this is why we said we're not making a game that we need to be. Nice, I dinged. We're not making the game in a way where we need to be 100% successful when we open the gate. Right? We've got a lot of work to do after we go live, and so, you know, that first period of time, that first year or whatever it winds up being after we go into early access and we're continuing to grind, the expectation is that we'll have a lot of work to do still, and we may not have our audience in place yet, or we may not be there quite yet with regards to quality or the amount of content or whatever, and we're just going to keep doing what we're doing now, which is keep grinding. And you know, I feel like when you watch some of the videos, well, if you watch the VODs, I mean, we've posted what, like 600 videos or something now. If you just go back and pick them, you can see just constant, like, incremental progression for us. And we've been very, very fortunate to continue to both progress, you know, with regards to the stuff that we've had, but also progress in terms of continuing to get more people on the team, that, you know, we've had enough time to build the team in a way too where I think we get along. We all click for the most part. We've been able to round out in different areas with regards to skills and get enough redundancy in place, get enough bandwidth to start moving a bit faster. So, I mean, it takes time to not just build a game, but like build a team. And unfortunately, a lot of teams find themselves in situations where they don't have the time to build a team and build chemistry, get to know each other and trust each other. They don't have time to do pre-production, don't have time to sort of work through thoughts and experiment and iterate on shit. You know, when somebody hands you a bag of money and says, hey, I'd like a return on this, typically they've got a certain period of time in mind. And so then if you don't have a team that's worked with each other before, you're not only building a team, and in our case, building a company that, you know, hosts the team. You're also trying to figure out what it is that you're making. You're trying to have enough time to iterate on that thing. It's a lot of shit. And then if you're throwing in new things like, you know, has the team worked in this engine before? Has the, you know, are you familiar with these challenges, right? Like, all of these things add up. And then, on top of it, it's the expectations of the return. So. Let's see. Thorfinn said, it's strange that all the franchises we love were created in the 90s with the philosophy of wouldn't it be awesome. Now we see the same devs talking about player metrics and retention to recapture those the excitement of those games. Steve responded with, the industry has changed quite a bit, Thor, especially AAA studios. AA games cost so much to make, and folks are understandably risk adverse. Yeah, I don't blame any. I don't. When I talk about like how we are doing things relative to maybe other teams, I don't. That's nothing I'm holding against any other teams or their investors or publishers or anything. But it is something where it's like we're very conscious of the trade-off. Well, Steve, when I read AA, I'll be honest, like even AA games at this point cost so much money to make, let alone AAA. I thought maybe it was a typo, but I was like, you know what? It's still true. Oh yeah, Thulon. I mean, invariably there's that as well, right? New world, new lore, new takes on things. And I think we just looked at, there's a really solid base that exists in the previous games. We didn't need to reinvent the wheel. And it allowed us to get in and move pretty quickly, and then use that base to start to go, okay. I mean, even little things like when you get certain abilities, or the nature of certain abilities that we have at lower levels already, right? Like those, just simple things like some of the stuff Nick's put in with regards to having abilities that feel a little more inspired by like disciplines, like the longer cooldown kind of playmaker oh shit abilities. It's really fun having that at lower levels already, right? And that's different. Is it fundamentally different than like an EQ? No, but it's taking that and going, okay, this is how we tweak it to already start to create a different experience. Steve said, for me personally, I love indie games. That's where the innovation is now. Yeah, and I mean, and it's so weird because the total addressable market is so huge. And when I say this, it's not like with the belief that, oh yeah, and we're planning on there being hundreds of thousands of subs or whatever. No, that's not it at all. But we can speak to the success stories and point to them just generally and be like, that's pretty badass. The fact that Valheim, I mean, in 1 year was what? Fall Guys, Valheim, and Among Us. Like that was all 1 year. I wonder what the percentage of like revenue they brought in, you know, within. I mean, they killed it on the indie side, but just in games in general, they made a impression, right? That was all 1 year, wasn't it? Or it's the happy accidents like a Fortnite. Yeah, so even though it wasn't an indie game, but still. Among Us was out for like 2 years or something too. Late bloomer. Yeah, that's. I'm probably thinking of. I'm doing the same thing that I always like warn against, the overnight success. That was actually a game that was out for years before it blew up. I could see that. I feel like the problem with modern games is they're designed to make money most of the time. I mean, all of our games are designed to make money. This is definitely not an art project. Like, it would be really nice to be able to get the team paid and have them do this full time and get benefits and a nice profit share and all of that. So they're all about making money, but it's just how you go about it. And, you know, a lot of that then is rooted in risk. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are definitely some companies that are a little bit more all about making the cash than they are like maybe doing it for the love of that specific IP or genre or whatever. I mean, I think I've mentioned before that I had an interview with someone when I was looking around for jobs several years ago and had an interview with the CEO of the company, and he asked me if I knew how to build in $1 million spin depth into, you know, the type of game they're making. And I was immediately like, one, never done it, so I can only tell you what I think it would require. Two, I definitely don't want to take this job, even if I somehow make it through this interview. Okay, I am paying attention, Nick. What should I do? Try at least once, though. I tried the slow before. I didn't see if it landed, though, because I'm probably not set up properly to pay attention well enough. Do you think I need to hit him with susceptibility before, or before I hit him with exhaustion? We'll see. 1, 2. Okay, that time it got him, and shit. Play of hands. Fours. Okay. Games have to make money, but some games are made for that reason alone. Yeah, and they're oddly good at it. They are. At my last company, we spent a lot of time looking at mobile. Because the thought was maybe that I would, when I left that company, the thought was I was going to potentially spin up a mobile studio for them with a friend of mine, so that we could do the games that they were wanting to get done anyways on that front. And dude, it's all just a lot of math and a lot of tried and true systems. Okay, so maybe I probably did not slow him last time at all. Probably is what happened. But it's cool that we got him. And we gained a level. Yeah, let's say that that's what did it, not my inability to slow him last time. This is clearly my ring. Okay. Cool. IBU. IBU. Not even gonna roll for it? No. There's my ring. Oh wait. I guess we could have gone either way. Oh, it's not as fun without the flip. Nice. Let's run back to town. Yeah. Also look like you hit your head. Yeah. I'm too tall. Son of a gun. Wait, did you even loot the ring? Oh, I'm wearing it, Gray Fox. Don't worry. Was there any talk of giving other races unique jump animations? Maybe, if it doesn't feel too, like, forced. It's not everybody needs to get everything. Humans get a really nice class selection. That's why they don't get to ride on Ogre's shoulders. and they don't get a cool flip jump. That'll be the argument. Goblin, sorry, I'm running a little late. I'm hungry again now. It's 11 p.m. I can't eat. Those of you guys that haven't been watching Pattis' streams, we've got a updated Fallen Watch in the background now. Still tweaking lighting and stuff in preparation for you guys visiting us. I think there were plans to make gnomes crawl on ceilings, as they should, being creatures of the night, being hellspawn. Have I seen the Spirit Wolf lately? I haven't. In theory, I would eventually get one as a pet, right? Nick, are you gonna summon one? Oh, look at him. Does he have his walk-in yet? What is attacking me? Why would you do that? I'm a shaman. I'm your friend, pupper. No animals yet? But I'm excited for it. There we go. It's a spirit wolf. That's all the animals you need. He's just spiriting along. Well, I guess he's dead. Alright. With ogres having a disadvantage of not fitting in certain places or having to duck, how do you think about counterbalance giving some advantage in another area? Or is it just fun flavor and you don't worry about counterbalance? I wouldn't be shocked if there's some bit of counterbalance with traits or something. We'll see. A lot of it is, again, the novelty of the frustration, right? Like, ah, it sucks I can't fit into this thing. But it's also kind of cool that you can't fit into it. Oh, I'm going in the wrong gate. Lantern of the Gods, ultra bright. Yuladan, what did he ask? Sorry, I'm always distracted. Yuladan said, Steve, if we were back in 1998 and under a major studio, could a game like M&M or Pantheon be able to have more creative freedom to make the game you want versus today in 2024? Steve's response was, it would greatly depend on who was running the studio and what freedom they were given. However, I think it isn't terribly likely these days. John Smedley gave Brad and I complete freedom to design the game how we saw fit. It's a big part of it, right? Like having that, you know, if they're not the person that sort of owns everything, having that person that's interfacing with the people that own everything, or at least control the pocketbook. When you've got someone that's strong and really, you know, trusts you and pushing for that, very different experience than, well, the other 95% of the time. The new Rat's in? The Goblin said Nick actually took his true form right there. Ooh, I would watch that kind of talk. This feels like today under a major game studio, there is just so many hurdles to make the game you want. I think even under a major game studio, if you've got the right people pulling for you, it's just as feasible that you could have you could have the leeway that you need. I think it's just very uncommon for all of those things to align, but it's also uncommon to completely bootstrap a team of, we're what, 26, 27 people volunteering our time. That's not common either. So I think sometimes it's just uncommon shit is required to have things happen a certain way. And again, the disclaimer that I give in every one of these streams when we talk about this stuff is, until we've got a successful game, it's all hypothetical, right? We're just talking. Cool, my other spell book's there. But that's part of the fun, right? Like that's part of what makes it cool to wake up and then get back to work. Like it's 11:15 now. By the time I get done blabbing or whatever, and calm down post stream, I'll probably be in bed like closer to midnight. My wife will probably wake up again at 5:30 in the morning. I'll wake up with her. At some point tomorrow, I'll take probably an hour nap in the middle of the day, just to try to catch up on a little bit of sleep. Middle of the day works because it's after most of the folks in the US have gone to sleep, and mostly us Euros then, and before they wake up again, right? So, and then just continuing doing the best we can to chip away at making a MMO. And then the fun part is, if we are successful, then it'll be really cool because all the shit talk and stuff that we're doing will actually be backed by something. I'm currently in Germany, Steve. Yeah, I moved to Germany in 2015. Was in Hamburg for a couple years, then moved to Sweden for 3 years, and then while I was in Sweden, we started working on this, and my wife's German, and there was we were thinking about staying in Sweden because we really like it, and she had just gotten her Swedish up to like a C1 level so that she could work there, but Sweden's expensive, and she knew some folks she had worked with before at a clinic here, and so she they were like, hey, please come work, we need another surgeon. And so she was like, cool. So Germany's a rad place. We moved back and been here now since 2021. So yeah, like 3 years. So but it's been cool working with everybody so distributed, because it kind of feels like, and a lot of our people have weird hours, right? Like some weird night owl stuff going on. And so it seems like there's always somebody or a few people from the team awake at any hour. So our Slack is always just like, I'll go to bed in a little bit. I'll check Slack, like I was checking a little bit during the stream. I'll check Slack, before bed and kind of see what's going on, and then I'll wake up in a few hours and check Slack again and kind of see, yeah, like goblins in Canada, but I always forget where, and I don't know, maybe you don't want me to dox you or whatever. Plus I never understand Canada. Like I know Nova Scotia is like way over here. But yeah, goblins, like, I think work Euro hours or some like Australian hours or something. So yeah, it's interesting. There's always somebody kind of up. doing something. We've already had to set D&D hours. Do not disturb hours? Because you people across the pond from the future. Yeah. Yeah, so we've got people in Sweden. We got Ali, who's the farthest time zone wise. He's an hour ahead of me in Bahrain. And then it's like Mike and I. Mike's in Poland. I'm in Germany. Continuing west, we've got Robert in Finland, Erkenstaff in Sweden. I feel like, no, I guess we're not. For some reason, I thought we had somebody else in Sweden, but I don't think so. Then we just kind of like work our way through Canada and the U.S. Hopefully, I didn't miss anybody. Nice seeing constant progress. People working when you wake up and you go to bed. Yeah, there's always somebody on. There's always something going on. Got people from all over the world working on our team too. Yeah, so you know what I'm talking about. It's like, it's nice that there's always just like a kind of a buzz. There's always something going on. Hey, Kenji. I hear we're going for flavor effects on pets. Can we get the fire pet to access campfire when it's sitting? It would be too OP. That'd be too OP. It already emits light. Would you ever expect remote work on a video game project would work out so well? I think a lot of us hoped it. A lot of us hoped it over the years because the you know, I mean, the biggest, most massive benefit, the obvious benefit is the fact that people from all over the world can work with us without having to move. Right? So we get a lot of really just this game absolutely could not, like, this project couldn't exist without remote work, right? So, but remote work isn't like this thing that people just started thinking about in 2020. You know, a lot of us have been wondering if it would be a thing, you know, for quite a while now. Because, like, we play together online all the time. Why couldn't we work together? So then there's a question of, like, productivity and project management and all this other shit. And our thing is, on the project management side, we're just not very project management focused. We do our best to be as organized as we can without, we've tried to, like, be more project management heavy, or we've tried to be more organized, and it doesn't work for us. But what we've been doing has been working pretty well. So it's just the fact that there's constant communication that helps. We do some stuff to try to be organized, but at the end of the day, I think the thing that works for us is for a few people to be a little more checklist oriented, and then check in with folks and be like, hey, how are we doing? So, does it make it hard to get everyone together for meetings? Yeah, absolutely. We have probably had, I think we've had no more than half a dozen big everybody together meetings. It doesn't work for us. It's nice when it happens. It's a rare treat for us. Steve said one of our programmers is in my time zone, but his work hours are more like our Australian team members. Team member hours. Yeah. That's what it's got to feel like if you're in the US working with, like, Goblin. And then people's hours change sometimes. Some people are always, like, changing their hours. So that's pretty cool. I mean, you didn't want to apply Scrum to your project? Well, you're missing out. I mean, we've got all the fundamentals. We've got working we're always dealing with working software. We're always taking feedback from the user. We're always adapting. We're always communicating. Really looking forward to 6 months, 628. Yeah, so are we. I know, Shaka. Esam, what's up, dude? How you doing, brother? All right, guys, it is... don't get me started about Scrum. Good grief. Dude, there's so much... My last company, I really love them. They're a great bunch of people. But we had, like... project managers and product managers and producers. We had agile coaches. We had, like, 3 or 4 agile coaches. We had so many meetings. We had meetings about meetings. We had meetings to analyze the meetings about meetings. It was just... there was just so much of that stuff, and it was just like, oh, guys, come on, guys. Hey, wait, no, wait. Oh no, I'm not a GM. I'm not a GM. GM on. Oh, okay. Spoiler, I didn't. Yep, aggro off. Yeah, sorry. Not a GM. Hate Scrum, hate it, stupid, time-wasting pile of crap. It's a very programmer sentiment. You know who loves Scrum? Scrum Masters. Associate producers. Shaka said I'm the lead dev, Scrum Master, certified and all. I hate it. Hey, I'm a certified Scrum Master as well. There was a period in Sony's history when we were working on DC Universe. We were all about the Scrum. We had 12 Scrums running with 2 Scrums of Scrums, I think, to coordinate all of the communication of the various Scrums. You need people to make sure, Steve says, you need to make sure people know what they're doing, and other people should know what everyone is working on, and that, but that's just a time waster. Let me reread that. I think I'm just tired and I'm not reading it right. You need to make sure people know what they're doing, and other people should know what everyone is working on. That's just time waster. Oh, but then the Scrum thing's just time waster. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's I don't know, when I was a young man first being introduced to the industry, it just seemed like, yeah, people should know what they're working on, and then some people would take it upon themselves to be leaders and make sure they have a good understanding of what's going on, and then make adjustments as needed. What would you say you do here? I'm a people person. Yeah. What? It helps if I spell it right. Yeah, man. You do Scrum or you do your job. Choose wisely. I think, you know, the big thing is what was said earlier. It's like get people that are maybe mature enough and professional enough to just do the things that they're supposed to be doing, and then everybody, you just kind of work to do your best to make sure that we figured out what people are supposed to be doing. But if, I mean, we're typically talking about this shit like in subtle async ways every day, right? Like the army, it was shoot, move, communicate. If you're in the infantry, you learn shoot, move, communicate. So take action, adjust, communicate. Follow the last order given. If the order seems fucked up, follow the last order given and confirm. Like, hey, is this what you meant? And then have some people that are diligent enough to like just kind of go, why are you lighting that on fire? Oh yeah, no, that's not what I meant. It was raining so much earlier, we're building an ark. Chuck has said my new team is a bunch of pros though, so to make my job easy. Turns out it's good to be good. Exactly. Like, Ryan Ellison, thank you for the follow. Maybe this is a bullshit analogy. I don't know. But if you read anything about like, read about SEAL teams, read about a Special Forces ODA, right? Like, there's not a lot of project management in those groups. Like, there's a lot of getting really good folks, get them trained into the environment, integrated into the environment, and have a pretty well-established sort of understanding of expectations. Provide commander's intent, let them go to town. You said love the look of that area. Oh, thank you. Yeah, stuff's coming together. There's moments like this. There's just something about like softness, and there's a glow in different textures, and I think, yeah. Wait, they don't have scrums in the middle of the ocean, desert, jungle. Oddly, no. As an unemployed Scrum Master, this currently definitely not giving me crippling depression. Long Dong, I'm sorry, buddy. But if your name's true, at least you've got that going for you. So don't be too sad. You can get another job, but not everybody comes equipped like you. So. Alright, on that note, I should probably go to bed. So we're going to raid Goblin, who is doing art. That's the best summary I could come up with. I'm really tired. So good night, guys. I'll be streaming again on Friday. We'll end that one probably maybe without a raid, so I can say good night to everybody the way I normally do. I'm not sure. I'm always afraid that if I say good night as usual to everybody, then you're gonna leave and then you won't be on the raid. So that's why I don't spend as much time saying good night to you. But then I also feel guilty. Goblin's live, he said. Zenfar, I agree with that statement. I'm going to bed, stonelistic, but thank you. Good night, Steve. I'm amped you came by. If you hadn't already done such a fantastic interview that we can just point people to, I would be like, oh, it'd be cool to interview you for posterity on, like I did the other ones. But I think your interview is stellar. But if you ever want to chat, I would absolutely love to chat with you at some point. You're one of my heroes, buddy. Possum, and I'm saying that in all seriousness. Be More Gaming, see you. Swanee, good night, buddy. Feldane, take care. Yuladan, Possum, see you guys. Friendly Liquids, goodbye. Yeah, it was fun. Thanks for carrying us and running the playtest, Nick. It really, yeah, it is looking nice in here. See you, Isan. I was actually thinking about you today. I was naming an NPC, and the NPC's name actually came out a little like yours. And I figured when you see it, you may be tickled. You may think about it. All right, so let me raid Goblin. Raid the goblin work. Right there. That's him. That's the guy. That's my guy. That's my boy. Starting the raid now. Later, Night Whisper. Raiding now. How do I just go to his stream? Why am I so bad at this? Alright. Okay, I'm ending my stream.